Welcome to the Valley of Ancient Mecca, where today is the location of the sacred mosque, visited by millions of pilgrims every year. There was once nothing but a barren desert. 4,000 years ago, Prophet Abraham was commanded by Allah to take his wife Hajar and their son Ismail on a long journey to this deserted place. Peace be upon them all. Abraham knew by revelation from God that it is there where long ago the Kaaba once stood, which was also called the Ancient House. And it is there where the Kaaba shall be rebuilt by him and his son Ismail to restore the long-forgotten legacy of this sacred place. Abraham traveled with his wife Hajar and their infant boy Ismail to Mecca in the Arabian Peninsula. At that time, there were neither people nor a source of water or food. Finally, they camped under a tree near the location of the ancient house. After they settled down, Abraham gave Hajar a bag of dates and a water skin. Then, to her astonishment, he started to walk away without saying a word, leaving his wife and son alone at the campsite. Hajar hurried after her husband. "Where are you going, Abraham, leaving us in this valley with no people or anything else?" Abraham did not respond, probably fearing that this would get him into an argument with his wife over something God had commanded him to do. So he kept walking without even looking at her. Hajar, still following him and repeating her question, suddenly realized that his strange behavior could be because he had no choice. "Oh, Abraham, has Allah commanded you to do so?" she asked. This time, Abraham gave her a brief response. "Yes." Hajar replied, "Then Allah will not abandon us." And so she returned to the campsite. When she could not see him anymore, Abraham faced towards the Kaaba and prayed to Allah as stated in the Quran in Surah 14, verse 37. "O our Lord, I have settled some of my descendants in an uncultivated valley near your sacred house, our Lord, that they may perform the prayer. So fill the hearts of people with love towards them and provide them with fruits so that they may be grateful." Hajar had put her trust in Allah. She continued suckling Ismail and drinking from the water she had with her. But the provisions only lasted a day or two. When the water was finally used up, she had no more milk to feed Ismail and both started to feel an overwhelming thirst. While she knew that God is with them, she could not just stay there and wait for a miracle to happen. Eventually, she decided to search the area for people or a source of water. As stated in a narration by Ibn Abbas, Hajar said to herself, "I should go and look so that I may see somebody." To make her search easier, she left her child at the camp and climbed up a nearby hill known as As-Safa. From this elevated spot, she hoped to see someone or something that might save them, but there was nothing. She went down to the valley and ran till she reached another hill called Al-Marwah, which would allow her to get a good view over the northern part of the valley, but again, she could not see anything that would help her. Then she said to herself, "I better go and check on the child." When she arrived, she found the baby weakened and barely breathing. She could not endure watching him suffer, so she said to herself, "I will go again and look. Maybe I will find somebody this time." Hajar reasoned that her best chance to find someone is to keep climbing on the top of the two hills. For 7 times she went on, hurrying over the craggy 450-meter-long path between the hills of Safa and Marwah. To commemorate her persistence and her trust in Allah, this has later become the source of the tradition of the Sa'i, the ritual walking between the hills during the Hajj. When Hajar reached Al-Marwah for the last time, she heard a whispering voice and listened attentively. She heard the voice again and said, "Oh, whoever you may be, you have made me hear your voice. Have you got something to help me?" Suddenly, the Archangel Gabriel appeared at their campsite and hit the ground with his mighty heel. Hajar ran back to her child, and to her surprise, water was coming out of the ground. She quickly gathered some stones and started building a basin around the source to contain the water. It is said that she repeated the word Zemzam, which presumably meant in her language, "It shall be gathered." She drank from the water and gave Ismail to drink from it until their thirst was quenched. The angel said to her, "Do not be afraid of being forgotten, for this is the site on which the house of Allah will be built by this boy and his father, and Allah never neglects his people." Hajar and Ismail were saved by the miraculous emergence of the blessed Zemzam well. Soon after, birds started flying over the new water source. Then, by Allah's providence, a group of travelers came to Hajar and her son. They were from an ancient Arab tribe called Bani Jurhum. They would usually pass by the valley, but to their surprise, they saw birds flying over it. They found the woman and the baby near a source of crystal clear water. According to the custom of that time, Hajar was the mistress of the source. They asked for her permission to set up a camp and drink from the water, and in return they would protect and provide for her and Ismail. Hajar agreed, and she raised her hands to praise Allah.